Morning, everybody. Have your coffee. Oh, hazelnut. I stopped by the deli today. I shouldn't say the deli, the bakery. And I treated myself to a nice, I'll show you a piece of it later. It was strudel. Okay, customer came in. He's a fisherman, kind of local fisherman, and he says, oh, I've seen 30 whales last season, and he says, I want to get everybody on my charter a whale's tail. So, you know, you have to start out with a drawing, right? That's a bit big. That'd be better. So, you know, you got to think of the idea in your head, and you kind of three-dimensionally. Like carving is not two-dimensional, where you just do a drawing and then you kind of do detail and texture and stuff like that for shadows and things like that. What you got to do here is you got to think three-dimensionally. So now I've got this drawing. I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the drawing. I'm going to cut the drawing out, and I'm going to tack it to the wax, and then I'm going to trim the outside of it, and then I'm going to shape it. I'm going to do that with pictures because it seems to go quicker. Okay, you guys. I hope you enjoy the project, and I will throw in a picture of the strudel. A wax saw blade. The teeth spin all the way around it, so it cuts really quick. So now that I've got it glued on, I just trim around, give myself a. If I have the light on, then you can't see. Oh, maybe you can. And it just, you know, take your time, right? You just want to make one of these. Right? Give yourself a little bit of extra room, you know, like a third of a millimeter or something like that. Or what nice thing about this blade is it cuts in all directions. So you get the picture. Okay, so you got the shape of it now, right? So we know we're looking at the back. It's actually pretty nice. We know what it's going to be. When I take that apart, so I could take the piece off that I glued on there. Okay, so now comes the three-dimensional aspect of it. There's no way I'm going to want to cast it and make it this bloody thick. So now comes the point of, well, you could still do it with files. So I know that the tail I'm going to want to bring down. This is the bail. This is going to be the bail where the chain goes through. So I'm going to put a hole through here, and that's going to get cleaned up for a nice chain. So, but until that point there, I want to shape this, right? Now, we want to kind of have the design on both sides, so. And remember, we're not making an exact whale's tail. We're making a visual impression of it. And that's what the art of jewelry is. You know, sometimes it doesn't have to be an exact of what it is, but long as it portrays what it is, right? If that makes sense. And then, you know, as you're going along, round the edges, make it look nice, make it be appealing. So now we've got the bail kind of where I want it. And then so start coming in on where the fin would be, right? Right, so I'm going to show you some more pictures as I go. Well, it's coming along nicely. So I use carbide burr. I shouldn't use that finger. A carbide burr cost me about $80, $90 10 years ago, and it's still with me. It's a great piece of equipment around the shop to be used for wax carving or the metal end of it, and just kind of get in there. So now I wanted to do the concave shape of the bit, of the tail. And so I get in there and I work it. You know, I'm not going to drag this on. I'm just going to give you the idea of what's going on. Now, like this, as far as I'm concerned, I can mold this piece now, because I need I'd have to look on the thing. I need 3 in silver and 1 in gold. And so I'm just gonna make the mold of this. I'm gonna sand this up a little bit, clean it, and then make the mold of it. And then I'll clean them up in the metal. Because there's not going to be much cleaning up to do, a little sanding and stuff like that, and they're going to be beautiful pieces. All right, you guys, I've showed you before, the X-Acto knife in carving is your best buddy, right? You get onto the piece, and the angle of the X-Acto knife is away from you, and then you drag it on its edge. And boy, that takes out the file marks, and it rounds up things nicely. Because, you know, this part of the tail has to be round, right? And so if we can get that, the less, you know, I've said this before, the less work you have, the more work and better finishing you do, the better you finish the wax, the nicer the cast piece will be. So sometimes, like I said a few minutes ago, that I have to make 3 of these. So I thought to myself, well, you know what, just make the wax like you always say. It doesn't have to be good, it has to be perfect. So I'm going to try to get it as perfect as I can, so that when it comes out of the mold, I'm just going to make a cold mold, a 2-part little cold mold right now. Like I say, I need 4 of them, and then one in gold, and around the edges and stuff like that. It doesn't hurt, because remember, it's going to be in metal. At one point, it's going to be in metal, and it's going to it'll hurt if it's sharp or if it's anything silly. So take your time. Not your time. Take the few minutes and finish it up nicely, just so that you're happy with it. Like that's starting to turn out to be real nice. Okay?